Hello, my stamping friends. Patty Edwards here with Why Stamp with Patty. And I think this is take two because my first one apparently didn't save. But, that is how life goes. And me and my technology. But today I'm going to make a really fun card using, of course, Fun for Fall. And this is the bundle that I am featuring this week. It has this cute little stamp set with this cute little scarecrow and some dies that cut out the images. Now, when I first looked at this, I wasn't going to buy it because I thought, I think I have a scarecrow already. But then I started looking at it and I seen that it had some really nice sentiments. I love it when they do the fonts where there's the script and just the printed words in combination. And it had, a nice, so thankful for you, hoping your day is wonderful, congratulations. This is something to crow about. Yesterday I did a card with these 3 crows and that made it into a congratulations card. And if you missed that, you can see that on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel. I did upload it to that. You could also, this little sentiment here says, hey there, and you could stamp that on this banner, stick it in that hay bale, and you could send that out any time of the year too. So we've pretty much used all the stamps in here, except Happy Fall Y'all, the scarecrow, and today I'm going to use this flower and this little grass piece, and hoping your day is wonderful. And then on Sunday, I am going to do a card with our little scarecrow and some of these coordinating dies with it. It's adorable. Let's see. So we talked about that. I'm also going to use our banner dies. Love these. They are, you're able to, stack them, make layers with them. I put mine on 2 magnet sheets because they do, have where it only can leave like a 1/4 of an inch banner, or not banner, but margin. And, they're hard to pick up. But look at, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 dies. And you have these little accessories that you can poke the holes so that you can string them up to actually create a really nice banner. You can make this into a banner shape card with the bigger ones. But today I'm just going to use it as an accent piece on my card. And I'm going to use the 4th largest and the 5th largest. So if we're looking at this would be the smallest one, the 2nd smallest one, 3rd. Here's my 4th smallest one, and then I've already picked this one up, the 5th smallest one. So these are going to layer on top of each other. I'll set that aside. And I'm going to use our 2026, 2028 in color gingham gallery 12 by 12 designer series paper, or DSP. So this paper is, I love gingham, and it comes in the 5 new colors: hydrangea hue, golden glow, peaceful pine, crisp cantaloupe, and our barely blush. And on one side it has the bigger pattern, and on the other side it has a smaller gingham pattern. So it's very useful. And some of these colors are great for fall, especially these 3, the crisp cantaloupe, the peaceful pine, and the golden glow. But today I'm going to use the barely blush, and I did use this yesterday in my card with the crows. And I am going to use the smaller pattern side. Our card base is going to be a piece of thick basic white, and I cut that sheet in half, 4 1/4 along the 8 1/2 inch side, And then we scored this at 5.5. So we're going to fold that in half and make a nice crisp score line. And we're going to take our DSP, and instead of doing, a border all the way around, this time I'm going to just have a border on each side. So we're going to attach that, and I cut this down 1/2 inch smaller than the width of our card. So we'll have 1/4 inch instead of 1/8 inch on each side of the DSP. Now I want this to butt up to the top of the card and the bottom, but before we press that down, we want to make sure we have even borders on each side. And then we'll go ahead and press that down. Now, sometimes I like to cut the paper, when I'm lining it up on my cutting board, I might sometimes just go over a little bit just to make sure that it's going to be long enough, because you can always trim just that little bit off, but you can't add it on. And then it looks kind of funny if you have this all the way to the top and then there's that tiny little 1/16 of an inch on the bottom that it didn't quite make the right length. Okay, that is the front of our card. Now, I have another piece of basic white. This is not thick because I'm just going to cut those banners out of it. So it is like 1/4 of a piece of cardstock. So 4 1/4 by 5.5. And we're going to run that through the cut and emboss machine. And then we will have 2 banners. And these banners are going to, they're going to just be layered on top of each other. The only other piece of cardstock we need, and you can get your scraps out, this is just a piece of paper that I cut off of something, another project, 1 inch off of the 8.5 side. And I keep some of these pieces because they come in handy sometimes when you need to stamp small images, and I don't want to use a big piece of paper. I don't know, some people throw them away. I keep a few of them and just have a little drawer that I throw my very vanilla and my basic white into. And then the rest of my colored cardstock I put in a page protector and put those with the slots where I keep my colored cardstock. That way I can always look at those scraps before I cut up a big piece. So we're going to stamp 5 of these little flower images on this piece, and it just is perfect. But if you don't have a long piece like this and you have little pieces of scraps, you can use those, whatever. And also when you cut out your banners, you might have some excess where you can stamp a few flowers there. Now, usually I colored the images prior to cutting them out, but just to save some time today, I took my die and cut out 5 flowers already. There's not, a large area to color, so this won't be too hard to do it on that small area. And I'm going to use our Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use the Barely Blush Dark. This is light, so I need the dark one. And since this is a small area, I'm going to use the bullet tip. This is a nice, strong end, and the other one is like a paintbrush edge. It's very flexible. But we can just, really color those flowers in relatively quickly with that brush. And we could do some blending, or we could even use another shade of pink and do every other one, another color to make it pop out. But I just wanted something soft and, not too bright on our card today. So this, just coloring them with the dark Barely Blush Stampin' Blend was perfect. So we got 4 of them done. And then I'm going to color the centers in with Golden Glow. And that is it. That's all we have to do. Now, I'm going to take the smaller banner that we cut out, and I'm going to be layering these flowers onto this banner. And I'm not going to line them up all even, because flowers don't grow that way. I'm going to, I think I'll have one on the end come up a little bit higher than the other one. And this one, oh, whoops, almost that height. And then these 2 are going to go in the middle at different heights also. And they don't have to be evenly spread out either. Now, to attach those, I'm going to use some of our mini dimensionals. And I'm going to take my pick tool to pick these up. They're very small, and I have big fingers, so this works perfectly to pick it up and then be able to place it, and then I can pull the backing off with it, and also, oops, I think I'm going to go down a little bit. Okay, we're going to put the end 2 flowers on first, and then we can place, because I kind of do want even spacing on each end, but the flowers themselves don't have to be spaced evenly apart. So that's roughly the same. Now I'm just going to take these 3, since I have those on there now, and turn these over. Go ahead and place my little mini dimensional behind all 3 of these. Go ahead and remove the backing. If you don't have a pick tool, you don't know what you're missing. This thing is awesome for picking up little embellishments or dimensionals. I think I want this one to be just a smidgen higher than the one on the end. This one's kind of going to go in between these 2. And then our last one is kind of going to go in the middle of these 2 flowers. Now, we need to kind of trim off some of our stems because they're different lengths. So we'll just take our paper snips and just trim those. Maybe I'll trim this one a little bit too. That looks like a V. I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah, that looks better. You don't want them to make an exact shape at the bottom. Now, I didn't want my flowers floating, so I wanted to add a little bit of grass. There is a little tiny grass stamp in this set, and I'm going to use our Granny Apple Green ink pad, and I'm going to stamp off a little bit, I think. We're going to stamp a little grass right under our flower stems. And if you want, you could, do another generation of it. You could stamp it a third time. We'll see what it looks like just doing, okay, hold on, I can't remember if I stamped that. Okay, I need my pick tool because this one isn't cooperating to pick up. Oh no. I got ink on this flower. I must have had ink on my finger, but stamp off. Hold on. We can fix that. And then I think I'm going to stamp off again and just add light grass down below. Okay, I did get a little smidgen on there. So, no big deal. We can just, pull that off and we can cut out another flower. So, I have one here. So just give me a second and I will die cut another flower. Sometimes that stuff happens and, no big deal. We will just cut another one out. And this is kind of good that I can show you this little die, because you do want to make sure you line up your flower, and then see these little dots on here? You should be able to see the stem through those dots. You probably can't on camera, but that is going to make sure that your stem is going to get cut out. So, maybe that was a happy accident to help somebody that hasn't used a little stamp like that. I'm going to put this up closer to the camera and then maybe you'll see it. So it has these little dots and you should be able to see the stem through there when you're lining it up. So, see, and then it's perfectly straight. Isn't that nice? All right. Okay, now we'll just do a quick recolor. And fill in our center. And I'm going to close this pad so I don't stick my fingers in it and make another mess. I need one more mini dimensional for the backing. We'll take that off. See, that didn't take any time at all because it's, nice little flower. And we're going to trim this one off. Now I'm going to turn this over and we'll go ahead and put regular size dimensionals on the back of this banner. These are too big, so I'll just go ahead and cut in the corners, in the middle. And then we're going to go ahead and center this on here. And I think instead of letting these free float, I'm going to go ahead and take some of my glue and I'm going to do my, one of my team members showed me this quick, easy little tip. Sometimes if you get too much glue on your piece, you can use a piece of scrap to swirl it around, but you can also use it to kind of paint on to a small area. So see how I'm just bending those back? I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the very ends of my stems, and then I'm going to glue those down so that they don't, go floating around. All right, now I'm going to turn this over one more time, add dimensionals to the back of our larger banner. And then we'll attach that to our card. And the last thing we need to do is add a sentiment. Now, I am going to put this so that I have an equal border on the side and top. And with the lines being on there, that makes it very easy to center. Now I'm going to put my sentiment here, and I'm going to stamp that directly onto the designer series paper. Now, if that, worries you, what if I mess up? It's okay. We'll just stamp it on a piece of paper, cut it out with the die, and cover it up. But, this is going to be pretty easy, especially with this paper, because we do have the lines on there, so we can line it up and get it pretty straight. So there is our finished card. Well, it's not quite finished because it's never finished till we have the pizza resistance on there, which is an embellishment. So I am going to hopefully find my pretty butterflies. Love, love, love these. These are the in color butterflies, but you get 6 colors because they also included white. But for today, since I have barely blush, I'm going to go ahead and add a large barely blush kind of down here in the corner, and also a smaller one. And then we'll put one more up here at the top of our card. Oops, kind of just... And there we go. We have our finished card. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now, we could go ahead and stamp a flower in here. And yesterday I stamped a crow inside, but I didn't color it because I colored them with like basic gray or smoky slate. And you do want to remember that the blends do bleed through, but I think you could get away with it with this small image, or let's do this. Let's go ahead and stamp a flower in the inside. I'm not sure what we're going to put yet for our saying, because this says, I hope your day is wonderful. It could be a birthday card, or it could be, just sending them a note that you're thinking about them. All right, here we go. This is the way we can fix that. We can use our shimmer brushes. These come in our in color colors, and we can just paint that on, and then on the inside we'll have a little bit of bling color. And let's see, I'm going to add a little grass to the bottom of this one too. I think I will stamp that at full strength. Isn't that cute? Oh, we should probably use our Golden Glow glimmer brush. Let me pull that out. See, sometimes I just think of things at the last minute. And we'll fill that in. And then we have a little image on the inside. And you can stamp your greeting. But there you go. It's all done. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments. And tomorrow I will be doing another card with this fall card, but it'll be a fast card because it's Fast Friday. And I'll see you then. Have a great evening. Bye for now.